It's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
New Year's resolutions sound great on January 1st, but January 10th, not so much. This year, there's one resolution worth keeping, getting your finances in order. For many people, that starts with balance, not just growth, but protection too. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. For over a decade, they've made it easy for investors to add gold and silver to their portfolios and reduce market risk. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making investment decisions.
This is a special presentation of high school basketball on WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High school basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Savage Auto Group, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Keith HVAC, Redner's Warehouse Market, Diefenbach Snacks, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Chick-fil-A, UECU, Overhead Door of Reading, Spots Insurance, Kuhn Funeral Home, Susan McFadden of Keller Williams Platinum Realty, Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf, Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society, Brad Coley, Goosehead Insurance, Huber's Auto Group, Financial Planning Advisors, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Reading Fight and Phil's, and Celebration Villa of Exeter.
Now for all the action, let's go courtside with Bob McCool and Rich Scarcella.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. WE's coverage of Berks County High School basketball continues tonight. Another matchup in the crossover between Division I and Division II. The Muhlenberg Muhls out of Division I and the Exeter Eagles out of Division II. The Eagles right now on top of the division after their victory. We heard it and saw it here on WEU on Tuesday night. The win over Governor Mifflin put them at 4-2 in the division. 9-5 overall are the Eagles. The Mules tied for first place with Berks Catholic atop of Division I at 5-1, and they're 12-3 overall. But the Mules' loss was to Berks Catholic in a game played here in Laureldale by a final score of 69-55, and obviously they will have their chance for revenge of that coming up in the near future at Berks Catholic. But the Mules have run the table otherwise in the division. As for Exeter, their big win, their first of the Division I games for Exeter in that win over Governor Mifflin. Their losses coming to Reading High and to Berks Catholic in divisional play. So it's the Exeter Eagles, the Muhlenberg Muhls. That is our high school basketball game tonight. It's presented to you, of course, by Savage Auto Group. Our game is available for you to listen to on 830 WEEU in Reading, and it's available for you to watch for free at any time, as all as our basketball coverage has been and will continue to be for the foreseeable future. The spot to find it is on YouTube, and it's at our channel on YouTube. That's 830 WEEU Sports. We're going to take a timeout, back with our Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf pregame show right after this from Laureldale.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, ensuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf. Fuel up for game day with their delicious burgers, their hot dogs, their fried chicken, barbecue sandwiches, french fries, and, of course, ice cream. And as always, once the weather gets a little bit warmer, why not take a stroll through their 27-hole miniature golf course? Visit Shell's on the Fifth Street Highway in Temple alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Again, Exeter taking on Muhlenberg tonight here on WEEU. Tuesday night, we had these Eagles against Governor Mifflin. And Rich, again, that crossover win for the Eagles, the victory on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin, 53-42. I don't know if it's a confidence booster, but maybe even just a kind of a settle-down moment for Exeter. But it was absolutely, positively a game Exeter had to win.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hate to say it's a must-win at this juncture, especially with the Eagles in control of the division race. But they needed that. They needed it to boost their confidence, to restore their confidence, I should say. And the guy that had the big game for them was Aiden Dauble, which scored a season high, scored 20 points, had 14 rebounds. That's the second highest total of the season. And Jaden Ware had another nice game back-to-back. We saw him play very well against Berks Catholic. Came back, played really well against Governor Mifflin with 13 points. Distributed the ball very well inside to Dauble and inside to Braylon Reinert. And, yes, Exeter needed that game. And I think they knew, Jeff Van Gorder, their coach, knew they had this game tonight, and then they play State College High School in a showcase tournament Saturday at Reading High School.
Yeah, and you mentioned Aiden Dauble, and that's exactly where I wanted to go to because, look, Aiden Dauble is averaging around 12 or 13 points per game. He's right now officially at 13.8 after that 20-point performance the other night. But we know there's a whole lot more in the tank than 12 or 13 points from Aiden Dauble. We've been seeing him play too much. We've seen how productive he can be, and that there is a whole lot more for Aiden Dauble. And I think a lot of that emerged over the course of that game in 4 quarters against Governor Mifflin.
He was slowed by injuries early in the season, a football injury specifically, and it took him a while. We saw him in his first game back at the Geico Complex, struggled a bit. You see him now. He's kind of rounding into midseason form. He's averaging over 17 points a game in his last 5 games. He's come up big when they needed him most, scored 23 against Springford, 20 against Governor Mifflin. And I think if Exeter is to win tonight, they're going to need a big game from Aiden Dauble.
And then you had mentioned the other one who has been Jaden Ware, because when you're going up against Exeter, we've been talking about Dylan Donati. He's in a little bit of a scorer funk right now, and hoping that Jeff Van Gorder talking to us a little bit about it, trying to figure out a way to bring him out of it a little bit and to put him a little bit more on the point tonight because he can be a more effective scorer there. But the issue is where Jaden Ware is right now. On the floor predominantly as a defender. More often than not, he's going to get the guy. He's going to be the lockdown defender on the other team, whether it be at Kingston McCoy when we saw the Eagles last week, or whether it's an Ian Fleming as we saw on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin. So the defense we know about, the athleticism we know about, but he's scoring more. And as we found out in the postgame show, he thinks he's the best passer around. And he did show a little bit of that as well on the floor.
Yeah, he had 4 or 5 assists on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin and did a really nice job with entry passes into Aiden Dauble, into Braylon Reinert, and one in particular to Reinert early in the 4th quarter, I thought got the Exeter Eagles going, got them going, and sent them on their way to the win. I love the way Jaden Ware plays at both ends of the floor. He will probably be guarding Justin Armstrong tonight in a very, very interesting matchup. I'm looking forward to that. But the third guy, I mean, we're talking about Dylan Donati, and yes, he's had 2 off games. I expect him to get back on track soon, whether it's tonight or Saturday. He'll get back on track soon. But Braylon Reinert is an ox inside. He is a very, very strong young man. He had 8 rebounds, and I think he had 11 points, yes, against Governor Mifflin. If he could get the ball inside, he and Dauble, they can score. that's as good a combination of two inside players as there is in the county. And I think as he continues to develop his offensive game, I think that's going to be even more important for the Exeter Eagles.
Yeah, there's no question that Braylon Reinert's future is on the gridiron, but he can be, as we saw last year, and we're seeing a little bit more of it this year, very effective on the basketball floor. But last year, a lot of it was kind of garbage points because he's big and he's strong inside, and he'll pick up a lot of offensive rebounds and putbacks. But Jeff Van Gorder and Exeter going into the game on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin, they want to start to feed him the basketball a little bit more, which tells you that his basketball skills are improving and increasing, that they want to now give him the basketball and not just make him kind of pick up all the scrap pieces inside.
Yeah, and I don't want to get ahead to the keys to the game, but I think it's going to be very, very important for Exeter to break Muhlenberg's pressure. Because I have a feeling Muhlenberg's going to put a lot of pressure on the Exeter guards. And if Exeter can do that, if they could get their running game in motion, if they could find a way to get the ball inside to Reinert, to Dobble, that's going to increase the Eagles' chances of winning this game.
Again, the Eagles are in control of Division II. They've already won their first three matchups against the other teams in that division, Conrad Weiser, Twin Valley, and Daniel Boone. And obviously they will play each of them again. And then working their way through Division I with the losses to Reading High. You heard that game here on WEEU, as well as the loss to Berks Catholic. And then the win on Tuesday night against Governor Mifflin. The game tonight against Muhlenberg, and then a game yet to come against Wilson. So the Exeter Eagles are trying to work their way through and see if they can get themselves to it, and even 500 with a victory tonight in the games against Division I opponents, because it's going to come in big. Exeter is a 5A school, so you're going up against the 6A schools in Reading and Wilson and Muhlenberg, and those are valuable points in terms of the district playoffs, and obviously it's valuable as well as ultimately these teams will be seeded in the division, in the Berks playoffs as well. So all of that factors into it. And all these coaches they're talking to us about it already, because they are very cognizant of the fact of, look, the postseason is only a matter of 3+ weeks away. And so it really is about positioning and picking up W's. Every W means a lot when you're going up against good teams because of the power rankings. All of that means the power rankings are prevalent, not just for the District 3 playoffs. They are indeed relevant for the county playoffs as well.
I think Exeter's, a win tonight could do wonders for their power rating because Muhlenberg is second in 6A in District 3. Exeter right now stands 10th in District 3 5A. I think they moved up 3 spots with their win over Governor Mifflin and some other results. But I think a win tonight against the number 2 6A team in the district could really improve their position, not only in the district power ratings, but also when it comes to the county playoffs. Chances are Exeter is going to face a Division I team in the quarterfinals in the first round. Who that will be, don't know, but it's going to be very difficult for the Eagles to get to the 3rd seed in the county playoffs based on power ratings.
That's the Exeter Eagles against the Muhlenberg Muhls. The JV game has ended here in Laureldale. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and talk about the home team, Muhlenberg Muhls, right after this on WEEU in Reading.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details. Too busy to cook during the busiest time of the year? Let Schmeck's Villa prepare your gourmet dinner. With nightly specials Tuesday through Sunday, the family atmosphere and delicious food will make for a fun and memorable night out. From savory seafood to a hearty landlubber's meal, Schmeck's Villa hits the spot with a sweet dessert to cap off your night. Call and reserve a table today. 610-779-0337 for Schmeck's Villa in Exeter Township.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's kettle chips today and snack on a delicious tradition. Updating your furniture and appliances? The Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County can help. The Restore offers free pickup of your gently used furniture and appliances from your Berks County home. We offer convenient scheduling for our free pickups through our website, restoreberks.org. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays through Saturdays. You might just find that special thing to tie the room together at the Restore. Support your community with your donation to the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County.
Welcome back to our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl Miniature Golf. Right up the street from where we are right now. We are on the Fifth Street Highway, just off the Fifth Street Highway here at Muhlenberg High School. And the Mules are 12-3 on the season, 5-1 in Division I. As I mentioned, they have taken care of business in their division with wins over Governor Mifflin. They beat the Mustangs by 26, a game we heard here and saw here at WEU. They beat the Red Knights at the Geigo in overtime, 71-68. They beat Wilson in overtime as well here at WEU, 62-59. And then that loss in between against Berks Catholic. But the Mules are in a prime position. And, Rich, I don't know if anybody other than a guy by the name of Matt Flowers believed that the Mules would be sitting at 12-3. And as you mentioned, right now, in terms of power rankings, up among the elite in 6A in District 3.
Yeah, they trail only Central York in 6A. They're number 2. And what's impressive about it, it's not just the power rating. They have wins over Central Dauphin, which is 3rd, Reading, which is 5th, and Wilson, which is 6th. So they've already beat 3 of the top 6 teams in 6A, and they're one of the other teams. So it's pretty impressive. And then they went and beat Allen in Allentown, 68-34. Allen, by the way, had to hand the Canaries their second loss of the season. The Canaries are second in the District 11 6A power ratings. So the Mules are a completely legitimate championship contender, not only in Berks County, but in the District 3 6A playoffs as well. And they want to continue that momentum here tonight.
And by the way, they beat Allen 68-34. Yeah. They didn't just beat them. They beat them down, they beat them up, and they took their lunch money while it was all going on. And they did that, which is probably even more in the happy world of Matt Flowers. They did that on the heels of beating Wilson in overtime.
Yeah, because he even mentioned it to us, a little while ago when we were talking. He was concerned about a letdown after rallying to beat Wilson in West Lawn in overtime. And it was a tremendous game. We had it here on WEU. And he was not expected, but he was worried about a letdown. And he said that was their best performance of the season by far. So right now, I think Matt wants to continue this. They didn't play so well against Daniel Boone in a crossover game. He wants to get back to how they played against Allen and how they played against Wilson tonight here against the Exeter Eagles.
Well, one of the reasons why, as I started this conversation about the fact that maybe other than Matt Flowers they would be here, is because they lost Shamar Killens, who was a huge, impactful player for them a year ago on both ends of the floor. And then Jade Kenner, who was a very dynamic outside player, perimeter player, and defensive player at the guard spot. And the loss of those two, you thought it kind of opened up some doors. We found out from Matt Flowers that's exactly what Allentown Allen's coach thought. Well, those two guys are gone. We'll take on Muhlenberg. But what you didn't realize is the ability of the youngins that were coming along the path. We knew it because we saw enough of Eli Hemmings last year. You knew the athleticism was there. And with the guidance and the work ethic that Matt Flowers is going to require from Eli Hemmings, the talent was going to get better and better. And we saw that in its best form, perhaps, against Wilson that night in West Lawn. He went for 23 against the Bulldogs, but he was spectacular on both ends of the floor. Other than that little hiccup he had where he missed some foul shots, he might have had 30 that night if it wasn't for that.
30. He would tell you he should have had 30.
But he suddenly recovered nicely, and he was huge in the overtime win for Muhlenberg.
He made 2 massive free throws to send the game into overtime, and then made a pretty finger roll move to put the Mules ahead for good in overtime, and then made free throws to help hold off the Bulldogs. And we've said it last week when we had that game 10 days ago, that Eli Hemmings, if he realizes how talented he is and how good he can be, I don't know if anybody in the county is better, maybe with the exception of Kingston McCoy.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about just skill sets. Eli Hemmings can shoot it. He can handle it. He can rebound it. He can sky, and he's 6'4", so he could be a matchup problem for a lot of different players. And it'll be interesting to see how Exeter is ultimately able to match up against Eli Hemmings, because you can't just focus on Eli Hemmings, because his classmate, Justin Armstrong, who's generously listed at 5'10", doesn't matter. He thinks he's 6'10" anyhow, the way he plays. He's a fearless player, but he's also becoming a highly more effective player as well. His average is up to almost 14 a game, because in his last three, he had 19 against Wilson, he had 20 against Allen, and 24 against Daniel Boone. So the offense for Justin Armstrong is that much more dynamic, and he is the biggest concern that Jeff Van Gorder has coming into tonight's game.
And Jeff Van Gorder happens to know him very, very well, because he's on his AAU team. And Jeff said to us tonight, said he's the engine that makes them go. And we've loved watching him play since his freshman year 2 years ago. Just how fearless he's been right from the get-go. And he was probably about 20 pounds lighter and about 3 or 4 inches shorter than he is now. He is absolutely I can't even. He's fearless is the best word, but he is not afraid to challenge anybody of any size inside. He will go to the glass. Doesn't matter who's there, whether it's Kingston McCoy, whether tonight, or whether it's Braylon Reinert or Aiden Dobble. He will get to the basket somehow, some way. The other thing is he plays such terrific defense, and he distributes the ball so well. And he and Hemmings are so critical to the Mules' success.
Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game. They're brought to you by RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years of experience finding countless buyers and sellers keys to the real estate transactions. Phil's also a resident of Exeter Township. You can call him at 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. It is Exeter Muhlenberg here in Laurelville, and Rich Garcella has his keys to tonight's game.
For the visiting Exeter Eagles, they want to remain patient. That's patient on offense, patient on defense. They don't want to panic with the pressure they're going to be facing. The second thing is they want to run their break. Jeff Van Gorder said that was the difference in the game Tuesday night at Governor Mifflin, that they broke it open, the Eagles broke it open by running the floor and scoring in transition in the fourth quarter against the Mustangs. And they want to do that tonight, as strange as that may sound, against the Mules. And the third thing is they've got to rebound. They've got to win the rebounding battle, because they have two of the better rebounders in Berks County in Aiden Dobble and Braylon Reinert. And that's an area where Muhlenberg is not as strong as maybe Exeter is. For the home team, the Muhlenberg Muhls, pace is really important. They want to play at their pace, whether that could be in a half court, that could be pushing the ball. Depends on things, but it's at their pace. The third thing is, or let's go to the second thing, and this is something Matt has told us from the first game we had him this year at Reading. Play with emotional intelligence. So I asked him, I said, what is this about emotional intelligence? I happened to see a book titled Emotional Intelligence at the bookstore the other day. He said one of his fellow teachers at River Rock told him you need to control their emotions. And are we maturing? Are we growing? And that's a thing that he has stressed. And emotional intelligence is what he stressed against Allen, and they produced their biggest win of the year. Third thing, we have to understand what we're playing for. Matt knows right now they're the number 2 seed in District 3 6A. They're the number 2 seed right now. No, maybe even one ahead of Berks Catholic in the county playoffs. They want to protect where they're at. They want to protect those seeds because they believe they are worthy championship contenders. And by the way, so do I.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is you win Division I, you're probably the number 1 seed. And if you don't, you're probably getting into that 4 or 5 seed, and you're going to play one of the others that you've been battling nose to nose with all along. It's a huge difference to get that Division I championship and likely the number 1 seed that goes along with it. And look, we're not telling you anything that the coaches aren't already telling us and thinking. They would tell you flat out that right out of the gate. They want that. It's not so much like you get this monumental trophy as winning Division One. It's the seeding and the placing and where that path ultimately leads you in terms of where the county playoffs are going.
You want to avoid the 4-5 game. And the only way you can do that is by winning and by having a better power rating, having one of the top 3 power ratings. Because chances are you're going to face the Exeter Eagles in that 4-5 game. It's going to be, that's what it looks like, but we'll see.
Tonight's Spotlight is brought to you by Huber's Auto Group. Tonight we kind of throw a little bit of a different aspect of it because tonight's focus is going to be on Muhlenberg senior forward Jeffrey Collado. Huber's is the region's answer for your car rental needs, whether taking the whole crew in a luxury van to Florida or just a few days to the mountains in an SUV. Huber's stands by their reservations, ensuring the ride you book is the ride you get. Check out their inventory and get a quote. It's HuberAuto.com. That's Huber, HuberAuto.com. And the reason why I put Jeffrey Collado in the spotlight is because of the inside presence of Braylon Reinert and Aiden Daubel for Exeter. They are both big, strong young men who can dominate the glass offensively and defensively. And the one player who that Muhlenberg has who can really do it, Eli Hemmings, is long and lean and athletic. Jeffrey Collado can be extraordinarily powerful on the floor and in the box for Muhlenberg. Matt Flowers made the switch to putting him and inserting him in the starting lineup right prior to that Wilson game that we did and talked about. And all of a sudden, here's Muhlenberg on a 3-game winning streak as a result. But for Jeffrey Collado, it's not just being on the floor. It's going to be staying on the floor and not getting himself in foul trouble.
Yeah, that's a key tonight, that Jeffrey Collado and Mikey Miller have to stay on the floor in order to compete against Braylon Reiner and Aiden Daubel inside. That's going to be very, very important. We've seen them get it. Well, Jeffrey Collado got into foul trouble against Wilson and was out for most of the second half. That can't happen tonight. He's got to stay on the floor. He's got to find a way to just play with poise, play with smarts, play with basketball IQ, and prevent yourself from getting into foul trouble. Don't commit silly fouls 25, 30 feet away from the basket.
Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 110 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Emmanuel, a taste of Italy right here in Reading. For the visiting Exeter Eagles, Jeff Van Gorder in his 3rd season in Rifton. He's 43-28 with his 9-5 record so far in 2026. And we mentioned the forwards, Braylon Reinert, 6'3" and a junior, Aiden Daubel, 6'2" and a senior. And then the guards around the perimeter, Michael Fisher, 5'11" and a senior, predominantly will be the point guard. However, that may change a bit tonight. Jaden Ware, 6'1" and a senior. Dylan Donati, 6 foot and a senior. Daubel at 13.8 a game. Donati at 12.3. Jaden Ware at 12.7. And Reinert just a tick below 10 a game at 9.9 on the season. For Muhlenberg, coached by one of their own, Matt Flowers is a 2001 graduate here of Muhlenberg High School. And in his 5 seasons at his alma mater, of course, he spent 10 seasons on the bench at Reading High as Rick Perez's assistant, taken over here at Muhlenberg. And in 5 years, he's 79-41, including his 12-3 record so far to this point. And the forwards we mentioned, Jeffrey Collado, 6'1" and a senior, and Michael Miller, 6 foot and a senior, along with the 6'4" junior in Eli Hemmings, Nelson Malave, the 6-foot junior, and then Justin Armstrong, the 5'10" junior. That's the starting 5 for the Mules. Hemmings is at 17 a game. Armstrong is at 13.7, and Nelson Malave is at 10.4 per game. And maybe that's the missing piece that we really didn't touch on. Nelson Malave, who was at Reading High a year ago, came off the bench and was deep off the bench for the Red Knights last year as a 10th grader, comes here and right now is giving the Mules 10-plus points per game. And so you focus on Hemmings and you focus on Armstrong because of their scoring abilities, but they do have other guys who can score. And a Michael Miller is another one. You can't forget about Michael Miller. He's just way too good of an athlete. He's only averaging about 7 points per game. But Michael Miller is a player who can, if he can stay on the floor, as Rich said, doesn't get himself in foul trouble, he can go get you 12 or 15 on a night anytime.
He can. The X factor tonight might be Josh Miller, who hasn't played since December 16th. He's been out with an ankle injury. Matt Flowers told us before the game that He is cleared to play tonight. It doesn't appear now he's not going to start, but chances are he's going to come off the bench. And in just a brief period of a brief number of games, he averaged 9.5 a game. He has a tremendous outside shot, son of former Central Catholic star Robbie Miller. I look for Josh Miller to have an impact on tonight's game, whether it's with a couple threes or maybe even more than that.
Yeah, and the one other thing I wanted to get back to, because you mentioned this in your keys to the game, that I expected that Muhlenberg is going to come after Exeter. They're going to press him. They're going to trap him. They're going to try to go after their less than experienced guards in the backcourt, try to get some steals, get some transition opportunities out of it. That I expected. What I didn't expect was what you just told us about what Jeff Van Gorder said, which is that the Exeter Eagles want to be able to get up and down the floor as well. Jeff Van Gorder knows they're going to have to score tonight. Exeter's averaging 59 a game, but he knows, I think, very well that they're going to have to get this game well into the 60s if they're coming out of Laureldale with a W.
Yeah, the problem is that Muhlenberg's averaging 65. So, they've got to score. This has got to be – Exeter has to score at least 55 to have a chance to win. And I think the game's going to be in the 60s because I think both teams like to get up and down the floor. Muhlenberg, we know, they scored 68 against a very good Allentown Allen team last week. I think this game is going to be in the 60s. If it's not, I think it favors Exeter.
Exeter Eagles, again, 9-5, 4-2 in the top Division 2 in the Berks Boys Conference. Muhlenberg tied atop Division 1 at 5-1. The Mules are 12-3. We're going to take one more timeout. When we get back, it's tip-off time. Exeter, Muhlenberg, live on WEEU as our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl and Miniature Golf pregame show winds its way forward.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338. Welcome back to Muhlenberg High School alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Getting you set for the Eagles and the Mules. Tonight's tip-off is presented by the Coley Insurance Group. Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, with locations in Muhlenberg and Wyomissing. They are a fully independent insurance agency with access to over 40 top-rated insurance carriers to ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it is auto, home, or life insurance, they have you covered. Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, the power of choice is yours. Call their team at 484-848-6088. The Eagles and the Mules tonight here on WEEU.
I gave you the keys for each team.
You did.
My key is, can Muhlenberg keep the ball from getting into the low post to Dobble and to Reiner? And can Exeter get the ball into the low post to Dauble and Reiner. That's my key.
I
know it's not sponsored either.
That's okay. Just as a look ahead, we'll be right back at this on Monday night. Division I matchup will be in West Lawn, Berks Catholic and Wilson. And back here 1 week from tonight, Reading High against Muhlenberg. That should be a nice, peaceful night at the gymnasium when the Red Knights and the Mules are here in Laurelton. That's 1 week from tonight. Muhlenberg in the home whites controls the tap with the blue trim, as Exeter in the black uniforms with the white and blue trim are in a man-to-man defense. Michael Miller has it, guarded by Dylan Donati. Swings around for Hemmings, guarded by Aiden Dauble. Hemmings tries to work his way through traffic and a bump and a foul early on. Aiden Dauble picking up that foul.
Yeah, as Hemmings tried to make his way to the basket, Dauble cut him off and made contact.
Actually, they called that foul on Jaden Ware, so it must have been a reach-in on Jaden Ware. So the foul is on Ware and not on Dauble as they try to work it inside to Collado, where then Reiner tipped it away. Trey Lister, Tim Negrini, and Jay Schmale are on our whistles tonight. Muhlenberg will again inbound underneath. Eli Hemming, Michael Miller, Justin Armstrong, Jeffrey Collado, and Nelson Malave. Outside, Collado, long way from the basket for Malave off the Collado screen, right elbow. Nowhere to go, gives it back to Collado, and now to Miller. Long possession here for the Mules. Good defense by Exeter. Malave open for a long three, and he buried it.
Yeah, you mentioned him, Bob, in the pregame. Nelson Malave can score if you leave him open. Had 25 against Berks Catholic here in a loss to the Saints.
The 80th three of the season for Muhlenberg puts them on top first. Michael Fisher gets the ball up the floor. There's the backdoor look to Reiner. Good feed from Jaden Ware. Mules give up the bucket to Reiner, 3-2, and here's a quick score on the other end by Malave again.
Yeah, real quick defense to offense by the Mules. They love to do that. Malave scores the layup.
Minute 15 in, 5-2 is our score. Here's Ware going to pop for three. That's off the rim, no good. Collado with the rebound. Up ahead, Hemmings to Malave. Malave looking to drive. Donati cuts him off, kicks it out for Miller for three. That's no good. And it's rebounded by Reiner. So I'm going to get, I assume that, I thought that bucket was good by Reiner. They have it 5-0 on the scoreboard.
No, it rolled off the rim, Bob.
Okay, my bad. So it's a 5-0 advantage for the Mules with 6:10 left to go in the first quarter. Here's Donati with the ball between the circles, gives it up immediately for Dauble. And now for Ware. Dauble screens. There's that screen and roll for Reiner again. Nothing there, but the trailer is Jaden Ware, and he rolled it off the rim, no good. A great look for Jaden Ware. He missed it. Hemmings has the rebound. Armstrong on the run out, nothing there. We'll kick it back for Malave.
Two good looks by the Eagles. They couldn't convert.
Collado from the free throw line, that's no good. Headed out of bounds. Malave tried to save it, could not. It'll go back to Exeter. We are now 2 minutes and 15 seconds in. It's a 5-0 advantage for Muhlenberg.
There's a potential mismatch that I'm not sure the Mules have really taken advantage of here in the early going. Michael Fisher giving up a lot of size to Jeffrey Collado.
Armstrong hounding Fisher as he brings it up the floor. And now hands it off for Dauble. Quick catch and shoot three for Dauble. That hits the back iron. Reiner tipped it, couldn't control it, out of bounds to Muhlenberg.
And here comes a young man, Bob, that we have thought so much of, especially against Governor Mifflin, how he played, and that's Cameron Scott, a sophomore. I think Jeff Van Gorder has increased confidence in him as this season has gone on.
Put him in the fourth quarter when the Exeter Eagles knew they were probably going to be at the foul line. He went 4 for 4 at 6 points in the fourth quarter. Miller with a step around. Reiner, however, blocks his shot. Good help defensively by Braylon Reiner, and Exeter has it back, and there's a reach-in and a foul called against Justin Armstrong on the reach-in. First foul against Muhlenberg. Exeter still looking for its first points of the night. They're down 5.
Yeah, 2 layups. They missed 2 easy shots.
Reiner sets the screen for Scott, the sophomore, with a little bit of an opening, and he lost the handle on it as Eli Hemmings picked it away from him. Hemmings on a 2-on-1. Great pass to Miller, and it's a layup.
Yeah, very unselfish look by Eli Hemmings.
Tremendous job on the 2-on-1. He made Aiden Dauble commit, and as soon as he did, he went with a wraparound pass, and it left Michael Miller with a layup and a bucket and a 7-0 advantage for the Muhlenberg Mules, and Jeff Van Gorder with a much-needed Exeter timeout as his team is in an early 7-point deficit.
Yeah, they've run their offense really well. They've gotten some good looks, and again, the 2 layups Reiner to begin the game off a really pretty pass from Ware. And then Ware inside in the lane just couldn't get the shot to fall. And Jeff Van Gorder calls a timeout here to kind of calm the Eagles down.
Yeah, and if you're watching us on our YouTube channel tonight, you get a chance to talk. You get a little bit of an idea of what we're talking about when we talk about the skill set of Eli Hemmings right there. Great job with his great length. Again, he's 6'4", and he has tremendous athleticism, and he just gets enough of a hand on it to get the deflection, controls it, and then his ability to handle the basketball comes into play. And he did a great job of drawing Dauble to him. And Aiden Dauble has to think, well, he's going to take it to the basket. And he read it right as soon as Dauble committed to him. And then the wraparound pass, and it turns out to be an easy layup for Muhlenberg.
Yeah, Dauble was in no man's land. He had to commit one way or the other, and he chose to try to stop Hemmings from going to the basket, and Hemmings still found a way to get it to Miller.
So following the Exeter timeout, Muhlenberg extends the defense a little bit with a 1-2-2, and Hemmings is out at the point. Dauble looks inside for Reinert. Reinert tries to go up strong, lost a handle on it. Right to Ware, blocked, and then right there is Jaden Ware to follow his own miss.
Yeah, really nice persistence by Jaden Ware.
Here's Hemmings in the open floor with a dump back pass for Collado. Fights his way inside, misses the shot. Dylan Donati amongst the trees comes down with a rebound, and Exeter has it back. And there's a bump and a foul on Malave. Long way from the basket. Malave gets called for the bump. His first, Mule's second. Josh Miller is at the scorer's table. Rich mentioned him in our pregame show. The 6'1 sophomore missed time with an ankle injury. Brad Flowers told us before the Wilson game that they thought he was coming back any day. It turned out to be another week plus before Josh Miller returns. So we'll see if the sophomore can help out Muhlenberg and give them yet another score. Exeter with the basketball in a 7-2 deficit. Trying to get it to Dauble, but Michael Miller will deny him. And the ball kicked out of bounds. Last touch by Miller. Exeter will keep it.
Reinert had, I think it was Malave. He had him on his hip. He wanted the basketball, and the Eagles just couldn't get it to him.
Jaden Ware, Braylon Reinert, Dylan Donati, Cameron Scott, Aiden Dauble, the 5 on the floor for the Eagles. We're about to hit the halfway mark of period number 1. 7-0 start for the Mules. Exeter trying for a second straight point. Great pass again by Ware. Reinert's blocked and fouled from behind.
Yeah.
Across the paint on a bounce pass from Jaden Ware to Braylon Reinert. Reinert will shoot 2 as the foul, I believe, is on Josh Miller. Yeah. That's correct. So Miller came over the back of Reinert because he was in perfect position to catch and finish, and Reinert shoots 2. Misses the first. Just a 43% free throw shooter is Braylon Reinert. Did a great job in the fall, along with Aiden Dauble playing at the linebacker spot for those two, and also doubling up as a tight end as well, as he makes 1 out of 2 here. Reinert pulls the Eagles now to within a 7-3 difference as we're inside of 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Armstrong guarded by Ware.
Really good matchup there.
Now we're going to have a 5-second violation. That's the defense of Jaden Ware. Armstrong did not attack him, and the Mules will turn it over. So Exeter gets it back with a chance to try to chip away here. Maybe weather an early storm. Scott gives it up for Reinert. Reinert tries to go baseline, pushes his way, but he dribbled it off the foot of Miller, who took it away. Miller up ahead for Malave, and the run-out will catch it and finish it.
Really good catch and shoot by Nelson Malave, because I thought the pass was too long for him. Really nice recovery. Malave has 7.
It was Miller who came away with the takeaway, and the lead is now 9-3 in favor of the Mules. Ware drives, kicks, Dauble for 3, needed it and got it.
Yeah, they needed that desperately to keep pace with the Mules.
10th 3 of the season for Dauble. There's a backdoor feed, and Malave is going to get another layup.
Yeah, one of the defenders from Exeter fell asleep.
Malave with 9 points already, and it's an 11-6 advantage for the Mules. Malave almost came up with a steal, but Cameron Scott able to pull it away. 2:54 left to go in the first. Bill Donati quiet so far. And he makes an errant pass, and Malave takes it away. In transition, misses it, but Josh Miller's there to clean it up for the
Nice
Mules.
hustle by Josh Miller. Followed the play, scored on a putback.
So Malave forces the turnover for Exeter, and the Mules in control again at 13-6. And try to force it inside. Michael Miller with another Muhlenberg steal. Up ahead from Malave, going to pop for 3. It's well short. Rebounded on a bounce by Jaden Ware. A little bit of a heat check moment there for Nelson Malave. And Exeter has it back. 13-6 Mules on top. Michael Miller with a couple of steals here in this first quarter for Muhlenberg.
These live ball turnovers that are driving Jeff Van Gorder nuts. They had 7 turnovers in the one quarter against Mifflin.
Reiner with the backdoor cut by Jaden Ware that leads to a layup along the baseline.
That was pretty.
13-8 as a result, as Reiner gives the assist. Here's Miller for 3.
Yeah, we've heard that he is a terrific outside shooter, and he showed it there.
Josh Miller's 3 makes it a 16-8 Muhlenberg advantage, almost a backcourt violation. Cameron Scott dished it back to Braylon Reiner, who just got across the halfway mark. 1:35 to go in the first. Dauble trying to fight for position down low, and they lob it too high and over his head and out of bounds.
5th turnover here in the first quarter by Exeter. Reiner with pass just a little too long for Dauble, who was open behind the defense.
6'3 senior Mason Goodhart, 5'11 junior Carter Oxenrider both check into the game for Exeter as Reiner and Donati come out. So Ware's still out there, Dauble still out there, Cameron Scott still out there. Armstrong looking for his first opportunity offensively, goes behind his back to shake loose of Ware, but misses the jumper, and Exeter has it back. Scott gives it up for Dauble and right back to Jaden Ware, guarded by Hemmings. Dauble gets tripped up in the paint. Ryan Hutchison, who checked in for Muhlenberg, tripped him up.
This could be Armstrong, too, maybe. I'm not sure, Bob.
It's a big difference.
Nope, it's on Malave. That's his second.
So Malave, if it was on Armstrong, it was going to be his second. It's Malave's second. Jaden Perez also into the game for the Mules. With 1:05 left to go in the first quarter. Mules up 16-8. Hutchison and Perez join Malave, Hemmings, and Armstrong on the floor. Another pass too hot to handle for Exeter, and the Eagles turn it over yet again. It's going to bring another substitution into the game for Exeter as Jackson Kozik will check in now, and Jaden Ware will come out.
I think this is just to give Jaden Ware a little bit of a breather here in the last minute of the quarter, but Exeter's got to do a better job protecting the basketball. 6 turnovers so far, and we're not out of the first quarter yet. That's not a recipe for success.
16-8, and again, it's been Malave who's been a difference maker as he drives again, and he finishes for 2 more. Nelson Malave taking the Exeter Eagles apart right now in the offensive end. 18-8.
They just don't have anybody to match up with him.
35 seconds left to go in a big first end of this first quarter for Exeter. Trying to find something. They find Dauble all alone. Head on a swivel. Dauble eventually lays it off the glass for 2.
I don't know if he was looking for a defender or if he just was trying to draw a foul, but he looked around a little bit before he scored the layup.
Dauble with 5. It's an 8-point Muhlenberg advantage. Matt Flowers wants one last shot to finish off what's been an excellent first quarter. Armstrong drives. Finger roll, no, but he's fouled before that.
It's going to be on Oxenrider.
So his first, only the second against Exeter with some fouls to give.
Yeah,
Muhlenberg will inbound instead.
I'm sorry. Oxenrider had a fistful of Armstrong's jersey.
So again, the Mules now with 10, and Armstrong with a basketball at half court, now with 7. Off the screen, Armstrong drives right at the defense, blocked by Goodhart, controlled by Exeter. Will they get a shot off before the end of the quarter? It will not count, and it will not matter as the Muhlenberg Mules, after 8 minutes on their home floor, a very solid performance for Muhlenberg so far. They lead it after 1. Muhlenberg 18, Exeter 10. We'll take a timeout back with more high school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group live on WEEU in Reading.
Too busy to cook during the busiest time of the year? Let Schmeck's Villa prepare your gourmet dinner. With nightly specials Tuesday through Sunday, the family atmosphere and delicious food will make for a fun and memorable night out. From savory seafood to a hearty landlubber's meal, Schmeck's Villa hits the spot with a sweet dessert to cap off your night. Call and reserve a table today, 610-779-0337 for Schmeck's Villa in Exeter Township.
Your house needs to handle those frigid temperatures all season long. Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing has been keeping homes and businesses running smoothly every winter for the past 30 years. Plumbing, electric, and heating systems work extra hard while it's cold. So let Keith keep you comfortable.
Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit KeithHVAC.com. Get Keith HVAC, Electrical, and Plumbing. You can't avoid the cold weather, but your home stays warm thanks to Keith.
We start quarter number 2 alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool, and a good first quarter for the Muhlenberg Muhls, out on top 18-10. Jeff Van Gorder has to be very frustrated with his team. Again, one of your keys to the games was live ball turnovers. He says it to us before every Exeter game we do, and they turned it over 6 times in that first quarter.
Yeah, you can't continue to give the ball away against a team like Muhlenberg, or it's going to cost you.
Jackson Kozak lost a handle on it. There's the turnover as Hemmings pokes it away. And Eli Hemmings in transition ends up getting his first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, you got to protect the basketball at all costs. I mean, Jeff has run some really nice sets, and the Eagles missed 2 layups, so this game could have been much closer, and they've got to capitalize on every opportunity they get.
By the way, an 8-point advantage at the time of the end of the first quarter without points from Hemmings or Armstrong, as Aiden Dauble off a screen right now trying to keep Exeter within a puncher's chance here as he buries his second 3, makes it a 20-13 game. Malave trying to back down Donati. Malave with a huge first quarter with 11 first quarter points, gives it up for Armstrong, and right back to Malave. Corner 3, no. Jaden Perez with a weak side rebound, battling for it. Dauble saved it off the foot of Perez. It'll go over to Exeter. Dauble, Mason Goodhart, Dylan Donati, Braylon Reinert will check back into the game as Kozik comes out. And Carter Oxenrider, the 5 on the floor right now for the Eagles. Full court pressure, man-to-man for Muhlenberg. Almost threw it away on the inbounds pass. And eventually Oxenrider will control it. And now Donati will bring it up the floor. Jeff Van Gorder hoping that playing the points will lift a little bit of the offense for Donati as Ryan Hutchison will reach in and foul. Try to get the strip, gets the foul instead, his first. 6:44 left in the second. It's 20-13, Muhlenberg on top. Exeter with the basketball. Nelson Malave with 11 first quarter points. 25 in the loss to Berks Catholic. There's Oxenrider, tried to force it inside over the top, and Hemmings tipped it and took it away. Up ahead in the open floor with a lob for Hemmings from Armstrong. No. Dauble pulls down the rebound. Here's Donati in the open floor. Good dish inside for Reinert off the glass. No. Dauble comes in, gets the offensive rebound, gets the putback and a foul. Aiden Dauble pretty much single-handedly keeping Exeter in his game right now.
Braylon Reinert has had a couple opportunities to score, and that was the second time. He just has struggled to finish here in the early going, but Aiden Dauble was there to pick him up, got the rebound, scored the bucket, drew the foul, has a chance at a 3-point play.
Foul was on Jaden Perez, his first, as Dauble at the line, as Rich said, to try to finish off the 3-point play. He does not, and it's a 20-15 game right now in favor of the Mules. They've got the basketball. Dauble with double figures already, as does Malave, who has the ball right now. Kicks it back for Perez, fakes the 3, puts it on the floor, drives inside, switches to his left hand, missed it. Fight for the rebound. Hutchinson tipped it. Good job by Rylan Hutchinson to Malave with a teardrop in the paint for 2 more. Muhlenberg will call the timeout as the drive will send us to a break, and we'll take a timeout with the Mules. 6 minutes left to go in the first half. 22-15, Muhlenberg on top. Back to Laureldale after this.
When the pressure's on and it's time to make your best move, the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams Platinum Realty is here to help you score big in today's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or planning your next play, Susan's experience and dedication make her the MVP you want on your side. For winning results and a team that never stops hustling, trust the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams, your home court advantage.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
You're listening to high school basketball at 8:30 a.m. WEU in Reading. After the Muhlenberg timeout, Exeter with the basketball. Muhlenberg with the lead at 22-15. Nelson Malave with the bucket right before that timeout, now with 13 points for the Mules. To the corner is Donati, guarded by Malave. Kicks it around for Goodhart. Touch pass inside for Reiner. Good help defensively by Eli Hemmings. Hemmings just has 2 points so far, but he's been very active defensively.
Yeah, I mean, Muhlenberg knows that the Eagles are trying to get the ball inside into the post, whether it's to Reiner or to Dobble, and they're getting a lot of help defense.
The sophomore Ryland Hutchinson guarding Dobble. Here's another feed inside to Reiner. Little turnaround baby hook, and Braylon Reiner puts it home.
That was a pretty move against Jaden Perez by Reiner. The Eagles need more of that from him.
5:30 to go, and the Eagles are now within 5 at 22-17. Quiet so far for Hemmings offensively. He gives it up for Hutchinson, and Ware denying Armstrong, so they give it back to Malave out near the midcourt stripe. Jaden Perez comes to the high post. Hemmings goes backdoor. Good feed from Malave. Good help defensively, but a foul on top of it. Dobble and Reinert were there. I believe it's going to be Reinert with the body on the foul. It is. First on Braylon Reinert, first on the Eagles here in the second, and it will put Eli Hemmings at the free throw line. Hemmings 17 points per game and misses the first. He's been over 20 in 6 of Muhlenberg's 15 so far, including a career high of 30 against Hempfield. Muhlenberg and Wilson both played in the Hempfield Showcase along with York Suburban. Those were the 4 teams in there. 4 pretty good teams as Hemmings goes 1 for 2. He's got 3. The lead is 6, and he's out at the top of that 1-2-2. They get it across half court for Dobble. Now see if the Eagles can run an effective half court set. They've turned it over 8 times so far. Noddy to Reinert in the corner. Long way from the basket. Muhlenberg okay with seeing Braylon Reinert have it that far away. Hutchinson fell down. They tried to throw it over the top. He got back up, and he stole it away. Up ahead to Perez, who lost it out of bounds. Turnover right back by Muhlenberg.
Just the second turnover by the Mules. Yeah, Exeter tried a cross-court pass, and it's just not going to work against a team as aware as the Mules. And again, just an unforced error. I mean, that was, like you said, Bob, now they have 9 turnovers. You can't win a game at committing turnovers at this pace.
Michael Fisher back in for Exeter, and a push by Donati. Donati trying to get some separation between himself and Nelson Malave. A little forearm shiver on that separation, gets the foul called against him. The offensive foul will be yet another turnover, and back to Muhlenberg. Michael Miller, Jeffrey Collado back on the floor for the Mules. Matt Flowers with his starting 5 out there, and his team on top by 6 with 4:30 to go in the half. Hemmings going to work by himself, draws a double team, misses the shot. Dobble has the rebound. Good help defensively by Braylon Reinert. Here's Donati in the open floor, works his way around with a Euro step, rolls it off the rim, no good. Tipped out of bounds. Miller and Collado could not corral it. Exeter will dodge the bullet and get to keep the basketball.
Dylan Donati needs something to get his offensive going. He's in a funk right now. This is the 3rd game where he struggled to score offensively. He's been averaging over 12 points a game. You can see it. He's got ability. He just can't get the shots to fall.
Jaden Ware in the inbound thought about pulling the trigger on the 3, but Hemmings coming at it, changed his mind. Donati in a catch and shoot 3. That's off the mark and into the hands of Hemmings. In the open floor, up ahead for Collado, who will go right at Reinert. Blocked his shot. Braylon Reinert with a block. Aiden Dobble the rebound. Outlet pass up ahead for Ware. Good job by the Mules to recover. Ware goes right at the defense, misses the shot. Hemmings hustles down and gets the rebound. Up ahead for Malave. To the corner for Miller. Kick out for Armstrong, trying to shake loose of Donati, who bumped and fouled him. That's number 2. Number 3 on Exeter on the bump foul by Dylan Donati. 3:45 left to go in the half. Mules lead is 6. And here comes Oxenrider to come in for Donati after picking up that second foul.
Bob, I got to say, we haven't really mentioned it. Aiden Dobble has done an outstanding defensive job on Eli Hemmings.
There's the backdoor feed and a great pass from Hemmings to Collado.
Really nice.
The defense sags around him, and Hemmings finds the open man. It was Collado for 2. 25-17. Mules back up on top by 8. Feed inside for Fisher. Little baby hook by Michael Fisher. Back iron, no. Exeter just can't get a friendly bounce. Malave up ahead off the fingertips of Michael Miller. Turnover right back by the Mules.
I mean, Exeter has they've had at least 4 shots that just bounced onto the rim twice, and just like you said, but it can't fall. And if those shots had fallen, this game would be much different.
They have seen every inch of that rim for sure. Aiden Dobble stripped on the give inside, ends up in the hands of Ware for 3 in the corner. That's off the rim. And into the hands, another rebound for Hemmings. 3 minutes left to go in the half. Mules up by 8, looking for more. Malave catch and shoot for 3. No. Reinert all alone underneath will pull down the rebound for Exeter. Here's Fisher in the open court. Armstrong goes for the reach. Picks up his dribble. Now he needs some help and finds it in Dauble. Dauble guarded by Collado. For Oxenrider in the corner. Reinert in the paint. Dribbles himself closer, right at Hemmings, and powers his way for
That
2.
was a very strong move by Braylon Reinert. A 30-second timeout by Exeter, but that was a power move by Reinert.
And that's just simply the power, the size, and the strength of Braylon Reinert. He had Eli Hemmings with that great length of him, but with the power of Reinert, he just kind of put the shoulder into the chest and gave himself some space.
And Matt Flowers talked to us about that before the game, said we've got to keep the ball from getting into the low post. Exeter has done a pretty good job overall getting it down there. They've just got to convert, and they've got to make better passes. But the other thing, Exeter against Governor Mifflin, with the exception of Aiden Dauble's 2 threes, they didn't hit a shot outside 10, 11 feet, and they haven't done so tonight either, except for Dauble's 2 threes. They need somebody to start hitting shots from the outside, and that would free up the inside even more for Dauble and Reinert.
Jackson Kozik will check in after the Exeter timeout as Reinert will take a breather. I got to be honest, with 2:34 left to go, and this is a huge 2.5 minutes for Exeter.
Sure is.
Because this feels like it's a much bigger deficit than 6 points right now for Exeter. 9 with 10 turnovers so far, and some issues just being able to roll some shots in. It feels like the Eagles' deficit is much bigger than 6 with 2.5 to go in the first half. Malave for Miller, along with Josh Miller on the floor. That's off the fingertips of Malave. Good job by Fisher. Got a hand on it. Then the deflection off of Malave, and the Mules will turn it right back.
No surprise. All of the points from Exeter here in the second quarter have come from Dauble and Reinert.
Fisher, guarded by Malave, gives it up for Dauble. Guarded right now by Josh Miller. Dauble trying to take advantage of that. Cannot. Gives it up instead for Ware. Feeds it inside for Kozik. Kickback corner 3 for Dauble. Tough shot, no. Rebounded by Eli Hemmings. In the open floor, Hemmings double team comes to him, gives it up for Collado, and right back to Eli. 1:50 to go in the half. Malave has it in the corner, and now Michael Miller has it. Almost lost a handle on it with Jackson Kozik guarding him right now. Hemmings on the clear out, gives it up for Miller, then sets the screen. That's Michael Miller, then to Josh Miller, no relation. Inside again for Miller. Patient offensive set here for Muhlenberg with a 6-point lead.
And no Justin Armstrong on the floor. They look different without him at the point.
Good look inside for Collado with Oxenrider guarding him, but he could not take advantage of it as the shot rolls out. Last touch by Michael Miller. It's Exeter basketball. They got the look they wanted, but Collado couldn't roll it home. And Exeter gets it back with 1:16 to go in the half. Fisher, guarded by Malave, picks up his dribble, gives it up for Kozik and around for Ware. Here's Dauble off the double screen. Dauble pops for 3, no. And rebounded by Michael Miller. Outlet pass up ahead for Hemmings. Step back for 3, tough shot off the glass, Eli Hemmings.
Not sure if he called that, but nonetheless, it banked in.
9-point Muhlenberg lead as Eli Hemmings kisses it off the glass. 45 seconds ago. Good find by Fisher. Kozik was wide open underneath.
Really good composure by Fisher there to find Kozik.
7-point difference with 40 seconds to go. Exeter slow to get back. Michael Miller's there, and Malave made him pay for it on the fine.
Very, very smart play by Nelson Malave.
30-21 with 30 seconds to go. Dauble drives off balance. No, but a foul. Looks like they're going to say it was before the shot.
I'm not sure.
Michael Miller and Jaden Ware exchanging some pleasantries after the whistle blows. Foul's going to be called on Collado. It's just the first on Collado. One of the things we talked about before the game of him staying out of foul trouble, and he has, and it is not a shooting foul. So Exeter will inbound underneath. They'll get Dylan Donati back on the floor for his offense with 25.2 left to go in the first half.
Exeter can really use a basket here.
Down by 9. Well, they hold it for 1 with now 20 left to go in the half. Ware giving it up for Dauble. Hutchison reaches in and slaps it away. Ware has to run it down. Still 14 seconds. Give it up for Dauble. who gives it up for Kozik and around for Donati. Goes baseline, double team, looking for help. Kicks it around for Oxenrider. Ware, corner three. Yes!
Big.
Jaden Ware buries the three in the corner, and that will bring us to the half. Rich said it. They needed a bucket. They got a huge one on the three from Jaden Ware, his 11th of the season, and the Exeter Eagles at least a little bit closer as the two teams head to the locker room in a 6-point game. It's the Mules 30, the Eagles 24. We'll take a timeout. Back with our Lincoln Plumbing and Heating halftime show right after this on WEEU in Reading.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
Temperatures dropped and my heating wouldn't kick on, so I called Keith HVAC, Electrical and Plumbing. They had it running fast and at a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, Keith does it all. Honest, fast, professional. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Call Keith HVAC today. You'll be glad you did.
Keith HVAC Electrical and Plumbing. Quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 610-589-6461 or visit keithhvac.com. When the pressure's on and it's time to make your best move, the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams Platinum Realty is here to help you score big in today's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or planning your next play, Susan's experience and dedication make her the MVP you want on your side. For winning results and a team that never stops hustling, trust the Susan McFadden team with Keller Williams, your home court advantage.
Too busy to cook during the busiest time of the year? Let Schmeck's Villa prepare your gourmet dinner. With nightly specials Tuesday through Sunday, the family atmosphere and delicious food will make for a fun and memorable night out. From savory seafood to a hearty landlubber's meal, Schmeck's Villa hits the spot with a sweet dessert to cap off your night. Call and reserve a table today, 610-779-0337 for Schmeck's Villa in Exeter Township.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as their name. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. It's a 30-24 advantage for the Muhlenberg Muhls at halftime. Muhls are up by 8 after a quarter, and the Exeter Eagles at least with a chip away back at that with a big three by Jaden Ware to finish the first half to get this back to within 6. And Rich, I'll go back to what we talked about coming out of that timeout by Exeter late in the half. I would imagine that Jeff Van Gorder is both upset and contented at halftime. Upset because he was very upset early on because of the turnovers that Exeter had in that first quarter, the 6 turnovers. It just frustrated by it all. But down by 6, as I said at the time, it feels like they're down by a whole lot more. They're very much still in this game. And I would venture to bet you that if we asked him right now, he'd probably tell you we couldn't have played much worse for 16 minutes and we're down by 6.
Yeah, we'll take it. I'm sure he'll say we'll take being down by 6, especially after the Ware 3 from the right corner. I think they have had missed opportunities. They've missed 3 or 4 shots inside that just rolled off the rim, or this game could be even closer. But the turnovers, that's the big thing for Exeter. We've seen them against Governor Mifflin. They had 8. They had 12 against Governor Mifflin. Against Berks Catholic, they had 7 in the first half. They've got to cut here tonight. They have 10. I mean, they can't win games like that by turning the ball over and not getting opportunities to shoot. They've been effective getting the ball inside to Reinert and to Dauble. Dauble has 10 points and Reinert has 5. They just need to protect the ball better, and they may be able to pull this game out.
On the flip side of that, I would imagine Matt Flowers is upset with his team because of the way that things went in the second quarter. Because the first quarter was brilliant, some brilliant basketball from Muhlenberg. But I just felt, and again, the word that he's used with us is emotional intelligence. I just thought there were moments where maybe Muhlenberg got a little cute with the basketball, tried maybe to do some things out of character a little bit, try to get some fancy plays out of it, because they had the opportunity to kind of really put some separation between themselves and Exeter, and they're still very much in the game as a result of not maybe playing a full 8 minutes of the second quarter the way they played the first full 8 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah, I think they moved the ball better, much better in the first quarter. Nelson Malave had 11 points in the first quarter by himself. I will say Matt Flowers has got to be looking at the scorebook and saying, we're up 6, and Justin Armstrong hasn't scored.
Yep.
Now, that's a credit to Jaden Ware, too, by the way.
Also
Jaden
true.
Ware, we know Jaden Ware can play defense. He made Kingston McCoy work for his points last week at Exeter. I think both coaches are kind of trying to look at both sides of this. For Muhlenberg, you're right. Let's be more patient. Let's attack. Let's not get too cute. Let's get the ball in the hands of our scorers. They did get it in the hands of Nelson Malave. He has 13 points. They've got to do a better job creating opportunities for Armstrong. Maybe he has to do that himself, or maybe he can't against the Ware. For Exeter, protect the basketball.
And the other thing is that Eli Hemmings has 6, and 3 of them were in a banked three-pointer from the wing. So it's not been a frustrating first half. I'm more impressed by the fact that Eli Hemmings hasn't really come out of it trying to do too much. He's just kind of let the game come to him, because Exeter's double teaming him just about every time he puts the ball on the floor. Exeter's sending a second defender at him, and he's just finding that open man, and he's distributing the basketball, and probably contented with the fact of, I got 6, but I've got 3 or 4 assists to go along with it.
And Exeter, besides protecting the basketball, they need someone other than Aiden Dobble to hit an outside shot. Here's another surprise, Bob. Exeter has 24 points. 22 of them have been scored by Aiden Dobble, Braylon Reinert, and Jaden Ware. Jackson Kozik has a layup. That's it. That's the only other person who has scored. They've got to find a way, not just for tonight, but they've got to find a way to get Dylan Donati out of his offensive funk somehow, some way. This is the third straight game that we've had that he has struggled offensively. You can see he has ability. He's got to see a shot, one of his shots, go through the basket. Maybe that'll get him going.
These two teams are both going to be playing Saturday in the Geico Complex, obviously at Reading High School. Exeter will be playing at 1:45 in a very interesting matchup against State College. Muhlenberg will be playing the next game, scheduled for 3:30. They will take on CD East. Again, all part of the Geico Classic at Reading High School. The Red Knights will be playing Springford in their matchup in a series of games going all day long, starting at 12 o'clock at Reading High School. So if you're a basketball fan, some good basketball for you at the Geico Complex. It'll kind of feel a little bit like March with some playoff atmosphere type of games at the Geico on a Saturday afternoon. At halftime here in Lauraldale in this Division I-II crossover matchup, it's Muhlenberg 30, Exeter 24. Back with more of our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show right after this on WEEU in Reading.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Checking some numbers for you here at halftime. The Exeter Eagles are 10 for 23 from the field, led by Aiden Dobbles. 10, that big 3 by Jaden Ware at the end of the second quarter. It gives him 7. The third 3 of the first half made by Exeter. Aiden Dobble made the other 2. So Ware's got 7, Braylon Reinert with 5. And then Jackson Kozik with the other 2. As Rich said, the vast majority of points for Exeter in this run that we've had, as I called it the other night, the trilogy here for Exeter High School here on WEEU. It's been Dobble, Reinert, and Ware scoring the bulk of their points, and tonight, no different. Nelson Malave with a brilliant first quarter for the Muhlenberg Muhls. He had 11 in the first quarter. He has 13 at the break. Eli Hemmings with a very patient Very deliberate style of basketball. Now he's been really good on the defensive end as well. He has 6 points, including that banked-in three in the closing minutes of the second quarter. 5 points off the bench for Josh Miller, including also a three for Muhlenberg. Michael Miller with 4 and Jeffrey Collado with 2, and Muhlenberg's total of 30. 30-24 is our score. Muhlenberg on top of Exeter. Reminder of our schedule of games next week here on WEEU. Monday night, we'll be in West Lawn, Berks Catholic at Wilson. Thursday night, we will be right back here in Loyaldale as Reading High takes on Muhlenberg. We had the first matchup for both of those games. Berks Catholic won over Wilson 38-28 in our first broadcast of the year. And, of course, we had the game between Reading High and Muhlenberg at the Geigel, in which Reading High falls to the Mules in overtime, 71-68. Those are our two games next week here on WEEU.
The Mules came out of their locker room fairly late, but I've noticed something just in the time they've been out on the floor. Justin Armstrong, Eli Hemmings, and Nelson Malavi sat on the bench, and Matt Flowers and a couple of assistants were doing a lot of talking to them. Not yelling, not just talking. And it looked like encouraging them. I'm not sure if they were frustrated. I'm guessing Armstrong might have been because he didn't score in the first half. But it just seemed like they were trying to maybe calm them down a little bit and maybe tell them to play their game here in the second half.
We get started with our second half. Is presented to you in part by Financial Planning Advisors. Their team of professional advisors can help you guide your investment planning, retirement planning, or planning for the cost of your child's college education. Less than 2% of high school athletes receive a college scholarship. Financial Planning Advisors can help you with the costs of increasing costs of college. Get Financial Planning Advisors working on your team. Call them at 610-376-6334 or go to financialpa.com. And it's Eli Hemmings getting the Mules started here in the second half with a fadeaway for the baseline for 2. He's got 8. The lead is a 32-24.
Nice screen on Aiden Dobble to set that up. He made the jumper over the shorter Michael Fisher.
Jaden Ware to the baseline to Reinert, and a give and go back to Jaden Ware. The cut for the hole to 2.
That was a really nice set by Exeter. Nice pass by Reinert into Ware.
Ware with 9, and it's back to a 6-point game. We're 50 seconds into half number 2. 32-26, Mules on top. Nelson Malave, Justin Armstrong, Eli Hemmings, Jeffrey Collado, and Michael Miller. The same way the Mules started is the way they start the third quarter. Armstrong for Collado, a long way from the basket. They sag off. And here's Hemmings, guarded by Dauble, fights through a screen. To the elbow, help comes his way. Left Armstrong alone for 3. The shot no good, and rebounded by Reinert. Reinert up ahead for Dauble. Tough catch, good catch by Dauble. Skips it around for Ware. It's going to be another layup for Jaden Ware.
Yeah, Muhlenberg fell asleep on defense, which rarely happens. Nice find by Dauble.
Back-to-back buckets for Jaden Ware, and the Mules suddenly, their lead is down to 4, 32-28, a minute and a half into the second half. Malave through a lot of traffic. Now he needs some help. Kicks it back for Collado and then gets it right back again. And the Mules will reset the offense. Armstrong, crossover dribble. Defenders around him. Between all his defenders, blocked by Reinert. Picked up by Collado. Off the rim, no. Reinert in heavy traffic pulls down the rebound for Exeter. Eagles with the ball back. A chance to chip away a little bit more. Fisher in the open floor. Needs some help. Swings it around for Donati on the right wing. Donati pulling up at the foul line. Slapped away by Hemmings. Right back to Fisher. Give and go. Right back again to Fisher. And another layup on the give and go 3 times for Exeter here to start the second half.
Really nice teamwork by the Eagles, and they're within 2.
That time it was Fisher and Ware teaming up. 32-30. 5:40 left to go. An 8-point Muhlenberg lead has been chipped to 2. Malave. Collado sets the screen. He doesn't use it. He'll shoot the 3. It's well short. Rebounded by Dauble and Exeter. Eagles with a chance to tie or take their first lead with a 3.
Bob, Muhlenberg really looks out of sorts, especially offensively, and they've fallen asleep a couple times on defense.
Now Exeter can be more than afford to be patient. They've run some brilliant sets coming out of the locker room. Donati with a catch and shoot, trying to pull the trigger. Can't get away from Michael Miller. Around for Ware, fakes the 3, drives for 2. Blocked partially by Collado. Controlled by the Mules. Back the other way, Hemmings on a 3-on-2. Armstrong alone for 3. Got it.
First basket of the night for Justin Armstrong. Needed that one badly.
Justin Armstrong puts the Mules up by 5. And Donati to match that, no. Reinert tipped it. Hemmings controls an outlet for Malave. Feeds it back to the trailer, and Collado, it's a layup.
Really nice play by Malave.
Jeffrey Collado makes it a 7-point game, and here's Armstrong with a steal. Armstrong top of the key for three, no. Hemmings hustles to get the rebound. His putback is good. That quickly, Muhlenberg changes the momentum back to their side, and it's a 9-point Muhlenberg lead.
Just like that. That three by Armstrong, that could be our play of the game, Bob. That ignited this little spurt.
And it also leads to a timeout. Jeff Van Gorder upset with his team. They got it to 2, and that quickly, the 3 and then a couple of takeaways, and the Mules lead is back up to 9. 4:09 left to go here in quarter number 3. When we come back, it's Muhlenberg 39, Exeter 30.
Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
They say the game of basketball is a game of run, and we've had him right here in this third quarter. First, it was Exeter to cut it to 2, and Muhlenberg gets it right back to 9. Cameron Scott checks into the timeout, misses a shot. Reiner with an offensive rebound. His putback is no good. Jeffrey Collado pulls it away, but the Mules will turn it over on the outlet pass. Armstrong could not corral it. Muhlenberg gives it right back. 39-30, Mules on top. Daubel, Scott, Donati, Reinert, and Ware, the 5 out there right now for Exeter. 3:50 to go in the third.
You hate to say this with a quarter and a half, but this is a big possession for Exeter. They've got to stop this run by Muhlenberg.
Good look inside for Reinert. With Jaden Perez guarding him, Reinert goes one way and then goes right back the other way. Fake left, goes right for 2. 7 for Braylon Reinert, and there's a turnover right back by Muhlenberg. Tried to throw the long pass. These are the passes they started to make at the end of that second quarter and allowed Exeter to get back in it. 39-32 after the Muhlenberg turnover. Exeter has it right back.
Muhlenberg in a zone. You rarely see that from Matt Flowers' team. That's to try to cut off the passes from the inside.
Donati hits the corner 3. Dylan Donati finally gets his first points of the night. Pulls Exeter back to within 4. Malave drives to the foul line, reverses his path, gives it back to Armstrong. 4-point Muhlenberg lead. They've never trailed. Is it back for Malave? Goes off the Collado screen. Scott fights through it. Gives it up for Collado. A little catch and shoot. Misses everything, and Daubel has a rebound. Here comes Exeter. Jeff Van Gorder says push it up the floor. Scott gives it up for Ware in the corner. Daubel left alone at the foul line. His jumper's no good. Rebounded by Jaden Perez and Muhlenberg. Not the look they were looking for in Daubel, but he couldn't get the shot. Armstrong, crossover, left hand finish.
Oh, man, that was against 2 defenders. What a move by Justin Armstrong.
41-35. Armstrong with all 5 points for him in this quarter. Here's Donati with a drive. Collision, no foul. Muhlenberg has it back. Tipped away by Scott. Exeter gets it right back on a turnover. Donati catch and shoot, back-to-back threes.
I said, Bob, once he sees the ball go through the net, that could get him on track. Hits back-to-back threes.
41-38. The Exeter Eagles are now down by 3. Malave drives, dishes for Collado and 2. Jeffrey Collado with 4 points in this quarter, 6 in the game. 43-38 Mules. Donati will try it again, but this time misses everything. Aiden Daubel runs down the rebound for Scott. Drives, floats, no. And a long rebound will be run down by Jaden Perez. Muhlenberg gets it back. 1:45 left to go in a frantic third quarter. 43-38, Mules on top. They've got the basketball.
Taking a little air out of the game, out of the ball, trying to set something up here.
Armstrong trying to rub off the screen from Perez to get Scott, who fights through it. They leave Perez alone. Perez puts it on the floor, spins, probably got away with a travel.
He might have.
Kicks away out to Malave, who buried the 3.
Yeah, he might have.
Big bucket, though, for the Mules on the three by Malave. It's right back up to an 8-point Muhlenberg advantage with 1:10 to go in the third. Inside for Donati, posting up, fadeaway, yes! Wow. Dylan Donati with a fast 8 points here in the quarter. 46-40. Up ahead for Perez, catch and shoot three, yes!
Yeah, if you leave Jaden Perez alone behind the three-point line, he is going to stick it.
9-point Muhlenberg advantage with 50 seconds to go in the third. Daubel looking for his first points here in the second half. Gives it up instead for Ware.
Oh, that's because Dylan Donati has gotten hot.
Inbounds, they look it inside for Reinert. It's too tall and off his fingertips, and a turnover for Exeter. Josh Miller, Eli Hemmings, Rylan Hutchinson will check in for Muhlenberg. Mason Goodhart and Carter Oxenrider will check in for Exeter. Muhlenberg basketball, 41.5 left to go in the third, and the Mules have a 9-point advantage. Armstrong, Hemmings, Hutchison, Perez, and Josh Miller, the five on the floor. Armstrong taking care of business. Stutter step, floater, no. Hutchinson flies in for the rebound. His putback is no good. Daubel has an Exeter rebound. Inside of 20 seconds to go in the third. Exeter going to try to cash one in here at the end of the third like they did at the end of the second. Donati, high screen, drives, blocked by Hemmings.
Beautiful beautiful defense by Eli Hemmings.
Out of bounds with 8.1. Still plenty of time for Exeter to get a shot off here to end this third quarter. Donati will be the inbounder underneath the Exeter bucket. To the corner, Ware fakes the three, drives for two, no, but he's fouled. Ware will go to the line and shoot two as Josh Miller commits the foul.
As hard as this may be to believe, that was the first foul by either team in this quarter.
Yep, you are correct. I just realized that at the same time that you did. But it's Jaden Ware hit the free throw line to shoot two. It's his first trip to the line tonight.
It was on Josh Miller, his second, by the way. But that is, I don't think I've seen that in a long time.
It has been frantic for sure. It's been some really good possessions and some sloppy ones at that as Jaden Ware makes the first. 4.3, so there's still time for Muhlenberg here at the end of this quarter. Regardless of what happens here, as Donati will come out. And Jackson Kozik in for defense here at the end of this third period. Jaden Ware at the free throw line looking for another. 14 now on the night for Ware, pending this second free throw. And that two is good. So with 4.3 left, Armstrong quickly up the floor. Tucks, shoots, good if it goes. It does not. And that will bring us to the end of the third. It was a 6-point advantage for Muhlenberg after two. It's a 7-point Mule advantage after three. We'll be back with the final 8 with Muhlenberg on top of Exeter. 49-42. High school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group is live on WEEU in Reading.
Redner's Markets is a part of the Berks County community, proudly employee, local, and American-owned since 1970. Your support has made Redner's a staple, and your continued commitment is rewarded with the Redner's Rewards Program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers and services, and surprise savings. Rewards members save at the pump, too, with discounts on fuel prices at our 7 Redner's Quick Stops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's mobile app. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
We start quarter number 4 alongside Rich Scarcella. My name is Bob McCool. A 19-18 advantage for Muhlenberg in quarter number 3. And they have Exeter Eagles with the basketball to start the fourth, down 49-42. And again, the give and go, which was so good for Exeter coming out of the locker room. That's how they start the fourth. It's Ware to Reinert for 2.
Just a tremendous set coming out of the quarter break by Jeff Van Quarter.
That's how they got themselves back in it in the third quarter, trying to do the same here in the fourth. 49-44, 9 points now for Braylon Reinert. Justin Armstrong dribbles, kicks it back for Jaden Perez. Perez works his way through, misses the bucket, and Reinert has the rebound.
Jaden Perez, one of the few players who's more dangerous behind the three-point line than going to the basket.
Aiden Dauble, Braylon Reinert, Jaden Ware, Dylan Donati, and a Carter Oxenrider, and there's the bucket for Exeter.
There's by Dauble on an elbow jumper pass from Carter Oxenrider.
His first points of the second half. Aiden Dauble at 10 at halftime. That, too, pulls the Eagles to within 3, 49-46. A minute and 10 into the fourth quarter. Exeter has never led this basketball game. They got to within 2 in the fourth, and then Muhlenberg pulled it back away. Hemmings trying to ignite himself. Floats? No. Rebounded by Dauble. Kick out for Ware. Ware going to attack the glass. Shot no good, but he's fouled. Jaden Ware fouled by Jaden Perez. Will shoot 2. Second foul on Perez. First foul against Muhlenberg here in the fourth. And Ware, who just made 2 free throws at the end of the third quarter, will shoot 2 more here in the fourth. Exeter just a 62% free throw shooting team on the year.
Muhlenberg's worse, 52.
3 for 5 so far for the Eagles, with Ware's free throw coming here, and he makes it. It's 16 now for Ware. Averages 12.7 a game. His season high came against Conrad Weiser with 17. Career high of 19 last year against Daniel Boone. He's in a great position to beat both of those right now.
Bobby's got 48 points in the last 3 games and a chance to make it 49 here. Just that he's coming around offensively.
Second one rolls off the rim, so it stays a 2-point Muhlenberg advantage, 49-47. A minute and a half into the fourth.
Let's see if Armstrong could take Donati to the basket. I'm thinking that's what he's trying to set up.
Justin Armstrong's only points in this game coming to third quarter. He's going to pop for 2 here. It's well short. Donati has the rebound. Chance for the Eagles to tie it or take the lead with 3. Donati spins, drives, floats, and scores. Dylan Donati with a 10-point second half, and we are tied at 49.
What a comeback by the Eagles.
Here's Jaden Perez, drives, misses. Fight for the rebound, and a foul going to be called.
It's going to be on Perez over the back of Reinert.
So Exeter's going to get the basketball now. And the foul on Perez will be his third. Second on the Mules. Perez out, Hutchison out, Collado and Malave back in. Josh Miller also out, Michael Miller in. Then the starting 5 back in there now for Matt Flowers as he sees his team's 9-point advantage down to 0. Exeter with the basketball and a chance to take their first lead. Dylan Donati coming alive here in the second half, a big piece of that puzzle. Ware gives it up for Oxenrider. Back for Donati, now guarded by Hemmings. Put the length of Eli Hemmings on Dylan Donati.
They can take all the time they want.
Dauble at the high post. Quiet second half for Aiden Dauble after a 10-point first half.
But he's been really strong defensively on Eli Hemmings.
Now here's Dauble, catch and shoot, foul line for the lead, and they've got it. Aiden Dauble, silky smooth from the foul line, and Exeter has their first lead, 51-49. Can the Mules now counter with 5:15 to go in the ballgame?
Well, I'll be honest with you. In the first quarter, I didn't think this game was going to end up being close. And now Exeter has the lead.
Malave, Michael Miller, Jeffrey Collado, Justin Armstrong, Eli Hemmings. Mules stretch the floor a little bit. Malave drives, kicks it back for Hemmings. Hemmings dumps it inside, too far for Michael Miller to do anything. Malave for 3, yes!
Malave was so big in the first half. Hits his second basket of the second half.
Puts the Mules back up by 1 on the 3. 19 now for Nelson Malave, 52-51. Jaden Ware drives, kisses it off the glass for 2. Eagles back up by 1. 53-52, Exeter on top, 4:30 to go. Armstrong drives, tucks, off the glass, no. Rebounded by Ware.
Jeff Van Gorder imploring them to run.
Donati drives, no. Ware tried to slam it home on the tip, missed it. Out ahead is Armstrong, ahead of the pack, will score.
Tough break for the Eagles. If Ware would have come down with the ball, he might have had a chance to put it back with a layup.
Puts Muhlenberg back up on top as Justin Armstrong's bucket makes it 54-53. halfway through the fourth. Donati drives. No, an offensive foul, Dylan Donati. It's going to be his third foul. 2 of those 3 are offensive fouls, as Muhlenberg's going to get it back as a result. 3:58 to go in the fourth. Timeout, Muhlenberg. We're going to keep it here. 54-53 our score. A valiant comeback by Exeter after they had fallen. They had come back to cut it to 2. Then Muhlenberg got that spurt in the third quarter, pushed it back up to 9. And the Eagles, down by 7 to start the fourth, got themselves right back in this game and got themselves ahead as well here in this fourth quarter.
The main reason is they've protected the basketball so much better. That was a turnover with the offensive foul, just their 4th turnover of the second half compared to 10 in the first half. And the return of Dylan Donati to the Exeter offense, averaging almost averaging a little more than 12 points a game. He's got 12 here in the second half alone after struggling the previous 2 games. A big component of this comeback by the Eagles.
Yeah, you said it at halftime. At that point in time, Exeter really only had offense from 3 players, with Jackson Kozik kicking in for a 4th with 2 points off the bench. But Dylan Donati making a difference in this Exeter comeback. But again, it is the Mules on top. And Nelson Malave having a big piece of that puzzle for Muhlenberg with 19 points, including a 3 that has the Mules very much on top right now at 54-53, halfway through the fourth quarter.
Dylan Donati, who just committed the offensive foul, I think it might have been Reiner underneath, just didn't see him, so he decided to take it to the basket, and he got called for the charge.
Following the timeout, Michael Miller, Justin Armstrong, Jeffrey Collado, Nelson Malave, Eli Hemmings, Matt Flowers with the starting 5 on the floor. Again, a 1-point Muhlenberg advantage halfway through the fourth. Hemmings drives, kicks it back. Malave, same spot as the last 3, and the same result.
Malave has been really the difference here offensively for the Mules with his 3rd 3 of the night.
A 57-53 Muhlenberg advantage as a result. Donati drives, spins, blocked and fouled. Collado and Michael Miller were there. Donati's going to shoot 2. We'll see which one the foul's on. It's going to be on Collado.
And that's his 2nd, I believe. Bob, you can just see the difference in Dylan Donati. He's so much more confident. I give him all the credit in the world after the struggles that he had the last 2 games, that he kept at it and kept at it.
Misses the free throw. And we've talked about it. Look, it doesn't matter the sport. Baseball players go in slumps. Basketball players go in slumps. Every athlete will go in a slump at some point in time. And it was as much mental as it was physical. But as soon as he made that 3, as Rich said, it changed the dynamic. But he misses 2 free throws here. It stays a 4-point Muhlenberg advantage. 57-53, Mules on top. 3:15 left to go in the ballgame. Here's Hemmings with a step-back 3. No. And Malave saves it. Michael Miller for 3. Yes! Malave with the hustle play, and Michael Miller cashed it in.
That might be our play of the game. What a play by Malave.
Double for 3. No. Justin Armstrong on the run out for Muhlenberg. Up ahead for Hemmings, too far. Hemmings saves it. Armstrong will slow things down with 2:45 left to go.
Yeah, Matt Flowers didn't want to see that long pass. It was almost thrown away.
Art Carter, Oxenrider, almost got a steal, but Malave again hustles it, gets it back. Malave in the open floor, gives it up for Collado. 2:30 left to play. Muhlenberg 7-point advantage. The 3 ball has been the difference maker in this fourth quarter. Hemmings for another one, but this one is short and rebounded by Exeter. 2:15 to go. Donati in the open floor. Malave cuts off his pass. Ball loose. Jaden Ware scoops it up. Between the circles. Ware looking for somebody to come out high. Donati. Reinert posting up down low. Almost threw it away. Reinert caught it. Couldn't make it. Good defense by Collado. Muhlenberg has it back. Inside it. 2 minutes now left to go. Matt Flowers wants them to be patient here.
Yeah, I'll say.
The way this second half has gone on, I don't know that they can shift gears down that low. Now they spread the floor.
They got emotional intelligence. Yep. They got to realize we have a 7-point lead and 1:30 left, and Exeter has 3 fouls yet to give.
Correct. There's one on the bump against Hemmings. So that's just going to be number 2 on Exeter. It's going to be on Dauble.
His first.
So Muhlenberg will inbound. Still 1:33 to go. So for Exeter, they've got a foul, as Rich said, 2 more times. It's just going to eat time on the clock. Dangerous inbounds. That's going to be a push-off.
Yeah, that's on Mikey Miller.
A careless pass on the inbound by Malave, and Michael Miller pushed off Donati to get the ball. Push-off on Miller is the foul, and Exeter gets the ball back. Down by 7 with 1:32 to go.
Need a basket here. They don't need a 3 necessarily, but they need to score. That's imperative.
Dauble gives it up for Ware, guarded by Hemmings. Round for Donati. Donati trying to get away from Malave. A little stutter step, stripped out of his hands by Malave, picked up by Collado.
Yeah, too much dribbling.
And now a foul committed. So now Dylan Donati trying to maybe do a little bit too much on his own, had it stripped and taken away. And then the foul committed will be the 3rd against Exeter and the 2nd against Braylon Reinert. Muhlenberg has the ball back with 1:16 to go. Jackson Kozik in, Dylan Donati out. Michael Fisher in, Carter Oxenrider out. Matt Flowers still with his starting 5 out there. Exeter picking up full court. Miller to Armstrong at half court, spins away from the defense, turns it into a 3-on-2. Collado missed the layup inside. Kozik has the rebound for Exeter.
You got to remember, the clock's their friend. They're in a hurry for no reason. They have a 7-point lead.
And Exeter now has the ball back as a result inside of a minute to go. Timeout Exeter. Jeff Van Gorder will burn the timeout here with 56.9 left to go. So if you're Exeter, you need points. 3 is great, but you don't have to get to 3. You just need to score and score quickly.
Yeah, it's got to happen fast. They can't afford a 20-second possession here. They got to score quick basket within 10 seconds.
Yeah, to that point, it doesn't matter if it's a 3 or not. I mean, a 3 is great, but you get the first fastest look you can get no matter how you can get it.
And then you get that, and then you've got a foul.
Right.
Muhlenberg is a 60% or 52% shooting team from the line. You've got a foul as soon as possible.
And the next foul by Exeter is number 4, so they still have to commit a second foul before Muhlenberg's on the line.
And for Muhlenberg, the clock is your friend. Take your time. Force Exeter to foul and run time off the clock.
Somehow or another, I think there's going to be 2 words spoken in that Muhlenberg huddle. And those would be emotional intelligence. Look, it's the theme of the year for Matt Flowers, but it's worked. They're 12-3, and he's not going to change it now. Same 5 for the Mules after the timeout. Hemmings, Malave, Michael Miller, Armstrong, and Collado. 56.9 is the reset. Left to go. Muhlenberg on top, 60-53. Exeter basketball. Dauble, Kozik, Donati, Reinert, and Ware for the Eagles. Ware has it. Stutter step, drives in the paint, up and under. Nobody's fouled.
Really nice take by Jaden Ware, and it was quick within 7 seconds, and it's on Eli Hemmings.
Just the first on Hemmings, the 5th on Muhlenberg, so they're over the limit. Does not matter here. Jaden Ware was going to shoot 2 anyhow.
Yeah, but they get a chance to score 2 points with the clock stopped. That's important. And then if he makes, whatever happens, you've got to foul quickly.
48.2 is what's left to go in the ballgame with Ware at the free throw line where he's 3 for 4 tonight. Rattles the first one out. 18 for Jaden Ware. It's a season high and 1 shy of his career high.
I think Jaden Perez is coming into the game for Muhlenberg because he is a pretty good free throw shooter, is my guess.
Mason Goodhart coming in for Exeter. Give them some size inside and a Fowler as well inside. Give Braylon Reinert a breather at the same time. With Ware at the free throw line to shoot another. That one is good.
It's got to be quick. Got to foul quick.
Malave dribbles away from it. They try to foul him. They missed him. Malave dribbles some time off. Now gives up the basketball, almost threw it away and gets it right back. Malave just too quick. They can't foul him, and he lays it in for 2.
I think Exeter was trying to foul, and they just weren't getting the calls. They were bumping some of the Muhlenberg ball handlers.
54.
Donati.
Donati gets 2 more to make it a 62-56 game now in favor of Muhlenberg, and a timeout called stops the clock with 25.2. Exeter will burn its final timeout. 62-56. Muhlenberg has the lead. They'll have the basketball following the timeout.
Too much time went off the clock there for Exeter's sake after Ware made the second free throw. Muhlenberg had the ball for a long time and then scored. And then Donati came back and answered, but that was 23 seconds run off the clock after all that happened, and Exeter is still down 6.
62-56 is our score. And again, 25.2 left. Exeter out of timeouts. Muhlenberg still has 3 at their disposal. Perez will stay on the floor. Collado on the bench for Muhlenberg. And again, they've got the basketball. Exeter picking up full court. Inbounds for Hemmings. And there's the bump and the foul, which will put Hemmings. That's the foul they had to give. Excuse me. So
yeah, they got one more.
The next one will put Muhlenberg on the line as Aiden Dauble commits that foul, his second.
Yeah, they got. This has got to be quick for Exeter. They got to pick somebody out. I'm sure they have somebody in mind, and they just got to foul quick.
Inbounds comes to Malave, and there's the foul. So Nelson Malave, who's done so much tonight, but he's at the free throw line for the first time tonight, will shoot 2 with 22 seconds remaining in the ballgame.
He's got 23, Bob, and really has done an outstanding job. Not only he's let the offense come to him, he really hasn't forced many shots at all.
First free throw, no good. Reinhardt back in, Goodhart out. Malave can make this a 3-possession game here if he can cash in the second of 2 free throws. He does not. Reinhardt with a rebound. And Eli Hemmings took it away. Reinhardt tried to kick it out to Donati, but the length of Eli Hemmings forces yet another Exeter turnover, and the foul by the Eagles will put Hemmings on the line.
Yeah, that can't happen in a late game situation like that.
So Eli Hemmings now will shoot 2. 1 for 2 at the stripe on the night with 17.8 left to play. First free throw is good. 11 now for Hemmings. That makes it now a 3-possession game at least for Exeter. Second is also good. 64-56. Catch and shoot 3 for Reinhardt, well off the mark. Picked up by Muhlenberg. And unless Exeter fouls, the Mules have held off Exeter on their home floor. They will not. The back and forth of the fourth quarter, ultimately leads to a Muhlenberg victory as the Mules win it by a final score of 64-56. We will take a timeout back with our Pizza Como Temple postgame show right after this. So WEEU in Reading.
Support your Berks County community while purchasing great new and used furniture, appliances, and building supplies at the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County. Located at 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple, the Restore carries brand name new and used appliances, furniture, home decor, and more. Many new items are manufacturer direct and are available at unbeatable prices. Stop by the Habitat for Humanity Restore of Berks County Tuesdays through Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or visit our website at restoreberks.org for more information.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA-crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's kettle chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
Welcome to the Pizza Como Temple postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong right here on the 5th Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, and legendary pizza. Right next door is the Yard. Virtual golf experience to keep your game sharp all year round. If you love sports cards and memorabilia, stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como and the Yard, 4600 5th Street Highway in Temple. The Muhlenberg Muhls holding off Exeter by a score of 64-56. Muhlenberg, every time it looked like the Mules might have had this game in control, Exeter made a push back at them, and they'd get it down to a 2-point game, and then Muhlenberg would push it back the other way. That's exactly what happened in the third quarter when Muhlenberg pushed it back after it was a 2-point game to a 39-30 advantage. But the Mules were not able to push it a whole lot further than that. They got it to 7 again back at the end of the third quarter at 49-42. But Exeter started to dice them up with those give and goes. That's how they scored early in the third, and they did the same in the fourth as they found a spark offensively. And obviously Dylan Donati was a big part of that spark for Exeter in the second half after a scoreless first half. Donati caught fire in the third quarter, and along with some good ball movement, they got a lot more people involved. And finally, Exeter took a lead for the first time in this ball game. After they tied it at 49, it was 51-49 Exeter on top on a bucket by Donati, but then it was back and forth for a while. Muhlenberg regained the lead for the final time at 54-53, and eventually the Mules were able to hold off Exeter down the stretch. Just one too many turnovers tonight for the Exeter Eagles unofficially, with 15 turnovers on the night. The Mules hold them off 64-56. Rich Garcella's on the floor with winning coach Matt Flowers and our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game, Nelson Malave. Rich, take it away.
Thanks, Bob. I'm here with Muhlenberg coach Matt Flowers, Muhlenberg senior Nelson Malave after the junior. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. After the Mules' 8-point win over Exeter, Nelson with a game high 23 points. You got off on a really good note. You had 13 points in the first half. What did you feel comfortable right from the get-go?
Yeah, I felt way comfortable because yesterday I told Coach Tubby, I was like, I want work, I want to shoot, and I just came today and I just felt good from the arc and driving. I felt like felt great.
You guys had a lead. You were up 9, up 10, and they came back. They took the lead. How do you think you guys responded in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game?
We stood together. That's one thing about being a team. We stood together, communicated on defense, and that's it.
What weren't you doing in the first part of the second half that allowed them to get back in the game?
We were slacking on defense. They ran the play twice. Coach Flowers called a timeout. Then we went back in the huddle. We communicated it, and then it never happened again. And then we just stood focused.
Nelson, what does it mean to be a part of this? You guys are 13-3, the number 2 in the District 3 6A power ratings. You know, you played a little bit at Reading, but not like you are now. What does this mean to be a big part of this?
It's a blessing, man. I feel great to be here. Like, this is the best spot. I love it here. I love Coach Flowers. I love all the coach staff. I love all the players. They treat me good here. I love it here.
Nelson, thanks a lot. We'll see you next week right here for the Reading High game. Thank you.
All right, thank you. See you.
Matt, what has he meant to your team, Nelson, meant to your team this year coming over from Reading?
Man, that kid has so much emotion that he's playing with. You know, this game is about, can you control your emotions? And, we've been talking about emotional intelligence. And when he goes into a different place, which is very good for us, he's unstoppable.
Well, he was unstoppable right from the start. He had 11 points in the first quarter. He finished with 23. He's had big games. He had 25 against Berks Catholic in the game here. But, like, when he gets going, how difficult are you guys to stop?
I think we're very difficult to stop. I thought LJ was off today a little bit, but, Coco picked it up and Eli picked it up, and we had a team effort today. This wasn't about one guy. No, Coco led the way with his intensity and with his aggression. I just think we have to get back to playing paved basketball, and today I don't think we played it completely.
You were up at the half, but it took you a while to get out of the locker room at halftime. What was your message to your guys at halftime?
Well, we talked about our previous games. I had to go take a step back and turn the lights out a little bit because I had to remind them, we won 12 ball games together. You didn't win 12 ball games doing it yourself. And I had to remind them that every game we have won, it was a team effort, not an individual effort. And today, I thought we had selfish moments in the beginning, and then we finished as a team at the end.
What weren't you doing, or what was Exeter doing that allowed them to take the lead in the fourth quarter?
They were sharing the ball. They were running their offense. They were playing defense. We were trying to attack 1-on-4, 1-on-3, and we had no lanes to get downhill. Our guards can get downhill. Just give them the lanes. Exeter was running their offense to a T.
And then what happened that allowed you to pull away from them in the last 3-4 minutes?
Well, number 2 hit a big-time three-pointer, and then we went from there. But, we got defensive stops. We got rebounds, and we played well from there.
Matt, you said 13 wins. You're 13-3. You're second in the District 3 6A power ratings. Do you like where you are here in mid-January with a lot of season left, but do you like where you're at?
I think we're at a beautiful spot. We just have to grow up. We have to still become more mature, still fight a little bit more, compete a little harder. And I think we'll be fine at the end when it's all said and done. It's just we got to continue to trust what we're doing and believe in what's being taught.
Matt, thanks so much. We'll see you next Thursday for that Reading game. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Back to you, Bob.
Thank you. Matt Flowers picks up number 80 in the win column since taking things over here in Muhlenberg. Our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game, as Rich was just talking to him, Nelson Malave, presented to you by the Reading Fighting Phils and the all-new Redner's Event Center at First Energy Stadium. Our Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet in the R. Phil's all-new Redner's Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium. Whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting, or event, or any charity fundraiser dinner, the number one place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redner's Event Center at the R. Phil's. Go to rphils.com/events for more information. Again, Nelson Malave, 11 points in the first quarter, quiet in the second with 2, and then hit a big 3 in the third, and then 2 more big threes of the 9 threes made by Muhlenberg tonight. And Nelson Malave, 1 point shy of his career high. He had 25 in the loss to Berks Catholic. He has 24 tonight in the win over Exeter. 64-56, our final score. Muhlenberg wins it. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with our Celebration Villa of Exeter play of the game and a wrap-up of the nice basketball game before we head back to the WEEU studios for the scoreboard show. All coming your way here on WEEU, 8:30 a.m. in Reading.
Too busy to cook during the busiest time of the year? Let Schmeck's Villa prepare your gourmet dinner. With nightly specials Tuesday through Sunday, the family atmosphere and delicious food will make for a fun and memorable night out. From savory seafood to a hearty landlubber's meal, Schmeck's Villa hits the spot with a sweet dessert to cap off your night. Call and reserve a table today, 610-779-0337 for Schmeck's Villa in Exeter Township.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
What if you could have more Mike?
We had a calamity.
More Bob.
Am I going to remember this tomorrow?
More local voices.
You two really complement each other, and it makes for the great show.
And more of what you love in the morning.
Tell me more.
WEEU fans, we heard you loud and clear. So, starting next Monday, Mornings with Mike will run from 6 to 10, followed by feedback from 10 to noon. More local voices, more conversation, and more of everything you love in the mornings. Right here on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and Beyond. Looking Looking for the best pizza in Berks? Come to Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, located along Richmond Street in Reading. Whether grabbing a pie to share before the game, getting delivery for the team, or you're looking for a real Italian dining experience in a grotto-style restaurant, put Nino's on the top of your roster. As the official pizza of WEEU's Slice of Sports, Nino's knows how to feed athletes and the rest of your crew. Nino's Pizza and Italian Restaurant, 515 Richmond Street. Call 610-921-2300 or visit ninosristorante.com.
Back with our Pizza Combo Temple postgame show. Time now for our Celebration Villa of Exeter play of the game. Celebration Villa of Exeter offers a community in the community you love. Get yourself settled into your new home for the new year. And if you act now through the remainder of January, the resident signs up by the end of the month of January, they will get February rent-free. All you got to do is call and ask for Natalie. Celebration Villa of Exeter, be a part of the community. Well, our play of the game involved our player of the game, and that was a moment where Exeter and Muhlenberg were going back and forth with the lead. Muhlenberg had regained the lead at 54-53, and Nelson Malave saved a ball going out of bounds to Michael Miller, who buried a three. For Miller, his lone three of the night, but the ninth three of the night for Muhlenberg, and it pushed the lead to a 4-point advantage for Muhlenberg, and the Mules never look back as they pull away and end up winning it by a 8-point difference, 64-56. But that heads-up hustle play by Malave to save the possession and save it back to Michael Miller for the three turns into our Celebration Villa of Exeter play of the game, all done by our player of the game. And for those of you who are watching our game tonight on our YouTube channel, 830 WEEU Sports, and you got a chance to see Rich Garcella interviewing Nelson Malave, I have to ask him, it looked like the WWE championship belt he had around his neck. So you got a little bit up close. I know it wasn't, but that's a pretty fancy thing he had hanging around his neck. He earned it with 24 points.
Yeah, he had a tremendous game. He started cooking right from the start with 11 points in the first quarter. Just an outstanding shooting performance. And he has been, he played a little bit at Reading last year, but coming here, he's in the starting lineup. Came into the game averaging slightly over 10 points a game, but he has stepped up in the biggest moments. He had 25 in the loss to Berks Catholic, had 9 against Allen in that big non-league game, and 9 against Wilson. And then tonight he really broke out with 23, and had 8 points in the fourth quarter.
Eli Hemmings with 12, 7 each for Justin Armstrong, and Michael Miller. 6 for Jeffrey Collado, 5 for Josh Miller, and 3 for Jaden Perez, and Muhlenberg's total of 64. Jaden Ware matches his career high with 19, a double-double for Aiden Dauble, 14 points and 11 rebounds. Dylan Donati, cold in the first half, finally found his groove in the second half. He ends up with 12 points in total. Braylon Reiner with 9, and Jackson Kozik for 2, and Exeter's total of 56. The Eagles fall to 9-6, and now 4-3, still on top of the Division II standings again. 1:45 on Saturday at Reading High. The Eagles will take on State College. And then back to action in Division II of the Berks Boys Conference. For Muhlenberg, they're now 13-3 overall, 6-1, and tied with Berks Catholic atop the Division I standings. Muhlenberg, again, at the Geigo Complex as well in that Geigo Classic on Saturday. They will play at 3:30 against Central Dauphin East. We will see the Mules, as Rich said, next Thursday night, right back here 1 week from tonight when they take on Reading High. In between that, Monday night will be in West Lawn for Berks Catholic and Wilson. Things heating up as we work our way down through what will be the final 3 weeks of the regular season and heading into the postseason with high school basketball here on WEEU. Final score one more time. It's the Muhlenberg Muhls 64, the Exeter Eagles 56. Thanks to Athletic Director Tim Moyer here at Muhlenberg High School. For our technical director, Sean Tansky, my broadcast partner, Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. We throw things back to the WEEU studios where Jeff Nolan and Matt Knob are there with the scoreboard show. It comes your way here on WEEU in Reading.
You've been listening to High School Basketball on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High School Basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Savage Auto Group, RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Keith HVAC, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Diefenbach Snacks, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Chick-fil-A, UECU, Overhead Door of Reading, Spots Insurance, Kuhn Funeral Home, Susan McFadden of Keller Williams Platinum Realty, Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf, Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society, Brad Coley, Goosehead Insurance, Huber's Auto Group, Financial Planning Advisors, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Reading Fight and Fills, and Celebration Villa of Exeter.
Listen all season long for comprehensive coverage and live